So these are the different levels of a categorical variable is also called a nominal variable. But when some order is attached with the nominal variables, that when some order matters, then it becomes ordinal. For example, for categorical data, we can say that male, female. We cannot say that the male is higher or the female is higher. That order is not attached. But when we say a categorical variable like high, low, medium, high, low, medium. So there is some order is attached. Low is somewhat lesser than medium. High is higher than medium. So there is some order is attached. That type of variable is known as ordinal variable. Otherwise, it is a categorical variable. An interval variable is where difference between two values are meaningful. For high, low, medium, we cannot exactly measure the difference between high and low and medium. But in interval variable, there is some difference. Difference is also important. And so little more higher variable is a ratio variable where 0 is having a clear definition. So why I am saying this different levels of variable, because depending on these levels of variable, the analysis procedure will vary. For frequency distribution, we can make for all these variables, nominal, ordinal, or interval, or this ratio. Am I audible to you? Anybody is listening?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That median and percentage. Median and percentage for nominal data, because there is no order or anything is not attached. That is why this median, percentile, standard deviation, coefficient of variation, that cannot be worked out for a nominal variable. But no, ordinal variable, median and percentile is okay, but other things, standard deviation, mean, median, etc., cannot be worked out. But in interval scale, we can work out mean, median, mode, that etc. But for a ratio type variables where 0 is having a clear definition, that type of variables only we can work for this coefficient of variation or a ratio or to make some index, etc. This ratio type variables only we can, that type of variables only we can apply these techniques. So I am not going to the formula or explanation of this different display, because you know what is mean by mean, when you know what is mean by median, what is mean by mode. These are the measures of location where that average, mean, median, mode, etc. to usually we have applied, we are using for measuring the location. And to measure the spread, usually we use variance, standard deviation, range, etc. to measure the spread. So these are the different descriptive statistics applied. So there are basically two types of field experiments: applied research experiments and demonstrations. In applied research experiments, it requires proper study, design, management, data collection, analysis, and to obtain statistically sound results. But when we think of demonstrations, which is applied, which is done in large size plots and in farmers' fields or like that, the results are usually clear from the visual observation. There may not be any statistical application may not be needed. But when we do some applied research experiments, definitely there is a need of the design and how to collect the data and what are the statistical measures applied for analysis of the data. So usually for any experiments, usually we make a hypothesis, state a hypothesis. For example, the hypothesis can be, usually you may be knowing that hypothesis, there is a null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis. Null hypothesis is what we are going to test. Usually null hypothesis is a neutral statement. When we are going to test some treatments, the null hypothesis will say that there is no difference between the treatments. The alternate hypothesis will say there is some difference between the treatment effect, the different treatments. But usually we test the null hypothesis, which says that there is no difference between the treatment means. And after defining the hypothesis, we will design an experiment. We will design an experiment to collect the data. Design a study and collect the data. Then based on the design, we will be analyzing the data, then interpret the results and drawing conclusion. So in hypothesis or a set of hypotheses should be answered. What are the factors to be studied and what are the relationships to be investigated and what is the experimental material. For example, whatever the example I told earlier, the factors to be studied is the treatment means. And what are the relationship? We are saying that there is no difference between the treatment means. We are not saying that the treatment 1 is greater than treatment 2. So our observation, the relationship is T1 or treatment 1 mean is equal to treatment 2 mean is equal to treatment 3 means. So all treatment means are equal. That is the relationship we are going to be investigating. So to do the experiment, there can be what is the experimental material, whether you are going to do the experiment in laboratory, petri dish, or whether you are going to do the experiment in these pots, or you are going to do the experiment in the experimental field. So based on that, the designing of the experiment will vary. So this is an interesting book by biologists named Sampling, Experimental Design and Statistics. What do biologists do? Biologists study the living world through observation and experimentation. So two types of scientific questions can be there: description, what, and explanation, how. In sampling experiments, we want our sample to be representative of all the possible observations in the population. So usually we have to choose a sampling design so that we are selecting a sample which is a representative of the population. So in statistics, there is a population is studied by taking samples. The sample should be a representative sample of population. Otherwise, there are sampling error will come. So we can use the principle of experimental design to develop sampling strategy that minimize this sampling error. In observational studies or natural experiments, after making hypotheses about the potential factors, we can take advantage of naturally occurring variations in the factors to test differences in the association among the variable of interest. This is usually done in ecological studies. The problem of such studies that which cannot determine the direction or cause and effect relationship. So in designing the designed experiments only, we can study what are the effects of that treatments or something. So there are another type of experiments called manipulative experiments. The investigator sets up the experiment so that the treatment differs only in the factors of interest. It can be laboratory, greenhouse, or field experiments, because we reduce possible factors which are giving variation to the measure, whatever we are measuring. We can reduce or we can measure or we can assess what is the effect due to the factors which are differing. So if you have a good design and a process for data collection, it is quite often straightforward to construct an analysis. If you don't have a design or if you don't have a process of well-defined process of data collection, it will be difficult to analyze. But if you have that, it is very straightforward to construct analysis and which can extract all the information available from the data. Otherwise, we may have to leave some of the data or which we have collected by spending so much money. So the role of a statistician is to work with the research team from the start of the study. And to design the experiment, how to collect the data, to design based on statistical principles. So how statistician he can help in the design of experiment, determine the sample size, sampling procedure, what are the variables to be measured, related to the objectives of the study, develop process of collecting data, provide methods of analyzing and help in translating statistical conclusions. So in statistics, for doing any analysis, the basic assumption is that our data follows a normal distribution. And what is a normal distribution? You see, this is our data. When it is plotted, 0, we are having some 5 values, and -1, -2, some values. So this is a standardized value. When we take the data and take a difference of mean, then most of the data will be in the range of 0. And divided by standard deviation, it will go up to 3. So this is the situation of normal distribution. The normal distribution, almost it will be a symmetric distribution. But when the mean median mode will be for normal distribution, it will be in the same place. But when the mean is going the right side and mode is in the left side and median in the middle, then it is known as a rightly skewed distribution. So the same way we can have left skewed distribution, and we can see that the height also may vary. Then it is saying we are measuring another measure called kurtosis. And usually box plots are used for finding whether our data follows a normal distribution or something, or whether it is a skewed distribution. You can see here the left side somewhat little right skewed data. Median is not exactly in the middle, but with little transformation of the data, we can make it to a normal distribution. But here, the right side, you can see there are a lot of outliers. The 2 outliers, the actual data lies in this range, first quartile, third quartile, inner space. There lies the actual data, but there are 2 main outliers. So this type of data, the analysis will become very, very difficult. We have to use some robust statistical methods, which will not affect much from the outliers. So whenever you are doing some statistical analysis, there are some measures we have to be careful. These are the things. You see, in the first case, whatever we are measuring or we are estimating from each sample, if we are saying that 4 + 2, some 10, 15 samples we are taking, but each sample mean, it is almost within the acceptable region. And there is precise and value. But in the second case, the random error is very high. So there is no precision. The sample means are going away from the accepted region. But in the last case, you see, there is precision because almost all samples are in the same place. Sample means are in the same place, but it is biased. It is not in the acceptable region. It is biased from there is some systematic error. We can say some systematic error. So our aim is, whenever we are in an experiment, to reduce the systematic error and find out the actual value for that treatments. So there are different type of distributions for defining our data, like normal, binomial, Poisson, hyper. So based on this data distribution only, we will be going for different statistical tests. So this is the normal distribution. So this is the standard. Standard normal means Z is equal to the X value minus the mean value divided by standard deviation. So this Z score indicates the number of standard deviation that value X is away from the mean value. So this is the standard normal distribution. The mean, median, mode lies in the center. It is a bell-shaped curve, symmetric. Both sides it is symmetric. +1 sigma, -1 sigma. This plus or minus 1 sigma carries around 68% of the data. This plus or minus 2 sigma around 95% of the data. Plus or minus 3 sigma will cover 99% of the data. So this is the standard normal distribution. In T distribution, T is equal to S bar minus mu divided by S by root 10. This is highly peaked than the normal distribution. The peakness is high compared to normal distribution. So these are the different tests. Usually we apply for large sample test, Z test. When the data follows small sample, then we will go use student t-test, then paired t-test when the samples are dependent. When we are making our data in row column wise. For example, usually in survey samples, usually we measure our data in the form of, for example, we say that educational status and how technology is accepted by the farmers and its education status. So one side it will be education status, the other side whether the technology is accepted or not. So that type of situations, usually we go for chi-square test. When there are more number of means than for more number of means to be tested, we will go for F-test or ANOVA. In the ANOVA, we are using the F-test. Usually, when you are going for this competitive exams, after this example, if you are going for MSc agriculture, agriculture, any agriculture IARI or MSc test, etc. Usually, this type of questions will come where you are applying paired test, where you are applying ANOVA, where you will be applying F-test, T-test, etc. So when this is another concept, that is when we are doing kind of hypothesis testing, two type of errors can come. One is type 1 error and type 2 error. The type 1 error occurs when we reject a true null hypothesis. Usually we go off with a neutral null hypothesis. And when it is true and we are rejecting the null hypothesis, this is type 1 error. And actually that we have to reject the null hypothesis, but we are not rejecting. That is a type 2 error. The probability of type 1 error is called alpha or level of significance, and type 2 error is related to power of the test or beta. So another concept is one-tailed and two-tailed testing. For example, in one-tailed test, we are interested. Here we can say that the mu is 170. Here our objective is whether whatever we are measuring is higher than 170. We are not considering whether it is less than 170. So this area only we are considering the level of significance. So this is a right tail test. So if we are sometimes we are interested only whether the mean value is less than 170, then it is a left tail test. So here mu is greater than mu 0. So mu 0 is 170. Our test is mu is equal to 170. That is the null hypothesis. The alternate hypothesis is mu is greater than mu 0 or 170. So this is a right tail test. When we are interested in the case of less than, then it is a left tail test. Sometimes we are not interested only in whether it is higher or lower. Whether if we are interested in to test whether it is different than particular value. Mu is equal to mu naught, and the mean value is different than mu naught. In that case, we are considering whether it is higher or lower. That case is a two-tailed test. So you can see mu less than mu 0 is left tail, Here it is right tail, and the middle it is two tail test. So usually in the T test, we are comparing two means. In T distribution, we are comparing two population means, or we are comparing one mean with a particular value. But when there are more than two means, or when there are three or more different treatments, then we will go for ANOVA. So this is one question usually asked. When there are more than two means, what test will be applied? We will be going for F test or ANOVA. But when there are two means, we will go for T test. So when there are more than two means, we are splitting the data into two. What is the difference due to? That is the variation due to between group or between treatment, and what is the variation due to within group variation. So that is the ANOVA. We are partitioning the total variation into within group variation and between group variation. So this is the in nutshell. What are the different? What is the type of the data and what are the different tests we have to apply in different situations. That is the hypothesis and decision making flow chart. So if your type of the data is continuous or discrete, if it is discrete, you usually you will go for chi-square test or one sample, two sample test. In continuous case, can be different type of question, whether it is relationship or difference. Difference you will go for whether it is mean or variance. If it is variance, we will go for bandless t test, and if it is bandless chi-square test, if it is mean, then we will go for t test. If it is less than 2, or if it is 2 or less, then we will go for student t test. If the data follows normal, we will go for t test. If the data does not follow normal, then we will go for non-parametric test like man-made U test. If more than 2 means, then we will go for parametric means ANOVA. If it is non-parametric, parametric and non-parametric means the distribution follows normal or non-normal. So that case, if it is that if it is non-parametric, it is Kruskal Wallis test. And if you are studying relationship, you will go for correlation, regression, which is non-parametric Spearman rank correlation. So here there are many things coming. One is to describe your data and to find out the correlation between when we are studying two variables at a time, whether correlation, regression, and or that type of modeling, and other case to estimate something and testing whether the two means are different or not. So these are the different statistical tests applied. So we will be practicing all these different type of tests using R.